Now, before we get into the story of the mermaid, I'm standing outside Margaret Macmillan Towers. This used to be the former Central Library. And the area where I'm standing now is Princess Way in Bradford. This area around here is quite sentimental to me, and I'm sure it's sentimental to some of our local viewers. Because round here used to be the 𝗕𝗥𝗦𝗧 roundabout, the subways. And when I was a teenager, I used to get off the 618 bus off Sunbridge Road, walk across Town Hall, under the subways of the 𝗕𝗥𝗦𝗧 roundabout, and into the Central Library, where I used to study. Now, if you look at these couple of pictures supplied by Andrew Bolt, they were actually taken from one of these floors, and you can see the roundabout in question. And you can also see from this drone footage where the roundabout was filled in by recycled material in 2023. Now, what I've done in this video is I've date stamped some of the footage so you've got an idea when they were taken. And in 2023 I actually made a video of taking my final walk in the subways of 𝗕𝗥𝗦𝗧 roundabout before it got filled in. So what I'm going to do now is show you some of the footage in case you missed it, and give you a bit of a backstory to some of the paintings on the walls in the subway, and then we shall talk about the mermaid. This footage was actually taken days before the subways were going to be closed to the public. As you can see, all the entrances are boarded up. The 𝗕𝗥𝗦𝗧 subways in Bradford have been adorned with murals through multiple community art projects over the years. In 2014, professional artists collaborated to create vibrant murals using recycled paint donated by the community repaint scheme in Bradford. Now, this is a good idea because the unused paint would have been thrown in the tip, so it's a good way to recycle unwanted paint. This initiative transformed the underpass into a colourful and engaging space. On another occasion, in September 2018, another project called Submarine was undertaken as part of the Bubble Up Festival produced by Brickbox in partnership with Bradford Council and local artists. Led by street artist Jenny Evans and arts collective Wur Bradford, the water-inspired mural invited community participation for further enhancement of the subways. The 12 walls of the subway showcase scenes with well-known personalities like the Bronte sisters, and also landmarks including Salts Mill, the Wool Exchange, and Bradford City Football Club and Bradford City of Film. And also, as you walk through the subways, you can see some of the locally based films, for example The Selfish Giant. Going back to the mermaid, as mentioned in my introduction, it is said that the Bradford Festival to the late 80s and the early 90s had quietly developed a plan to create and encourage leave-behinds, amusing forgotten legacies that people would notice, but of which very few would remember its origins. In 1990, it was decided that as a surrealist gesture, the 𝗕𝗥𝗦𝗧 roundabout, which was at the time devoid of trees, should become Bradford's missing amenity, namely the Bradford Marina. The marina was created by erecting yacht masts on a supporting grid within the wall, and the effect was completed with a few well-placed ropes and sails. And finally, the mermaid sculpture was then put in place on the wall surrounding the roundabout. Following the 17-day festival, the decor was removed
but the mermaid sculpture was left in place, and so it remained there for decades until one day it was gone. Workmen had surrounded the roundabout with health and safety equipment. The mermaid and the wall had been removed for re-landscaping and strengthening of the area. People were worried that the mermaid was gone for good, but after a few inquiries, when the roundabout was officially unveiled, there she was. The mermaid was put in place as an official part of the subways.
If you look inside the subways from the top, you can actually see the mermaid, and I bet a lot of passers-by here didn't even realise there was a mermaid situated on the sidelines. Now this image here was supplied by an organisation, and they took a photograph of it a while back, and they've called it the Mermaid and the Frog Prince. And if you look at the base of the mermaid, you can actually see the frog.
And here we have the original mermaid, not the replica. This was taken from the subways in the 𝗍𝗥𝗏𝗧 roundabout in 2023 and placed into a local compound. And only recently, about 2 to 3 weeks ago, since the upload of this video, it's been installed outside Bradford City Hall in the Northern Gardens area and the former Hollings area. Now I'm happy about this because it's a piece of Bradford heritage that's been saved and on showcase to the Bradford public, because before it was in an isolated area and it was virtually forgotten about. And just before I sign off, I struggled to find out who the sculptor was of this mermaid. So if anybody who's watching this video knows who the sculptor was, I'll be fascinated to know. So I shall see you on the next vlog. Thank you.